Hello and welcome. You're listening to Just Do It, a Dewey Brothers podcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Eric.
We're coming at you out of Mom's office, only the most primo of recording locations.
All right, what are we talking about today?
We're all
Alex?
hampered down due to Corona, so we figured we'd get together, make a podcast, get it out there for the people. The people need more Dewey in their lives.
The people want to hear it, so we got to provide it.
Absolutely. I think I'm going to be fine, but those seniors out there, they're a fragile population. What about your health condition, Aaron?
Well, I'm saying I got Corona, and I'm going down.
Why? You're not going down. Why would you go down? You're super healthy.
It's
pretty sure you're an athlete.
I've been smoking, I think, 6 packs a day for the past year.
6 packs a day.
And
I only saw you smoke one this morning.
Yeah, I just eat the other ones, just right to the gut.
You eat them. Are you I know you ski race.
I do
You're just eating cigarettes. Are you Italian? Is that how you're so sure?
Well, from what I see, the Italians are great at ski racing.
That's true.
And if I want to be as good as them, the only way I can do it is by smoking a lot of cigs.
That's understandable. What about the pasta? How much pastolis are you eating? Eating them pastas.
Let's just say I don't remember a day when I've had less than 3 pounds of pasta in my system.
And how's this working out for you, race-wise? I know you fell a couple times, but the best go hard.
There's a little idea we like to subscribe to in the area of downhill racing, which is the downhill diet.
Yeah.
Because everyone knows F equals MA.
Of course.
Which means if you got more mass, you're getting the most acceleration down the hill. You're winning.
That makes sense. I saw some of those guys are huge. And it's probably because they eat pasta all day long.
It's all about the caloric intake.
Should you be worried about wind resistance? So in physics, you have the wind resistance, especially when you're going as fast as you're going downhill. It's a contributing factor. And we know that muscle is more dense than fat.
But muscle's harder to get than fat.
You're not wrong.
And, hey, also, think about it this way. The snow, it's ice, which is basically water.
Which is less dense
and do you know what?
than both of those things.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But do you know what?
Well, not fat. That's why you float.
Exactly. Do you know what floats? I want to float on top of the ice. Muscle's not doing that. Fat, though.
I got you. Well, you keep eating pasta, and we're going to bring up today's topic. I'm about to list off a whole bunch of things, and you have to tell me what they all have in common. What are these things? So, Interrobang. What is that?
Did you say Interrobang?
I said Interrobang.
Is that where I interrogate someone and then I'm not finishing the sentence?
No, it's definitely not. What about, these are all the same thing, by the way. It's just a list of them.
Okay.
Bandersnatch.
Oh, well, that's from, that's the frumious Bandersnatch from the Jabberwocky.
That's entirely possible, but here it's actually something else. Not could be poem related, I don't know. But how about, I'll give you a hot and fast. The lance, the gauntlet, and the card. 3 more. So you got Interrobang, Bandersnatch, the lance, the gauntlet, the card. This is a list of something. You know what it is yet?
So you said the lance?
I said the lance, the gauntlet, the cord, the sheath, the watch, and the baron.
Those sound like titles and or as I might say, roles or personality types.
Okay.
I think you're going into astrology.
Close.
Tarot? Is it tarot?
First of all, I'm a Sagittarius. But these aren't tarot or astrology.
Cancer, rise up.
All right. Well, we have the Baron, the Saint.
All right.
Now, I thought this one might give it away. So I had to go figure out how to pronounce it. It's Le Griffoni. Griffoni.
That sounds French. Oh, Le Griffonum?
Le Griffoni.
Is that
it's French for the griffin.
The griffin. Is this, are we talking about gargoyles and Gothic architecture?
Maybe, but we still have to figure out why there's a Bandersnatch and Interrobang and why these all sound like things you can find at Renaissance fairs, despite the fact that is not what this list is.
You got cord and lance. This is definitely a Renaissance fair as far as I'm concerned.
I know. I was trying to lead our listeners down the Renaissance fair track. I was trying to send them down there.
Well, I guess I'm one of our listeners because you got me good.
I got you. So it keeps going.
All right, lay it on me.
All right, we got the Nexus, and The Voice. So that's like the last of the ones. Like I think after this you're gonna get them.
The Voice.
Yeah.
I mean, from everything you said, I'm just thinking.
One word. What do you think?
What was the first word again?
Interrobang.
Of course, Interrobang.
The Sheaf, the Watch, the Baron. Again, forgive my French. I am not French, and I will never be French. Les Griffons. There's at least one French word.
You're right. It's Lance. That's the one.
So what are you thinking? What if you had to categorize these as all things? What do you think they are?
They're all things.
I can try and find another French one for you.
I'm gonna say titles.
Close, but no. I mean,
they're like because the Baron, the way you have like the Baron in there, is it like Red Baron Pizza? Are they all pizza companies?
Well, there's Le Collectif, which is another French one, and then there's the Manitoban, the Brunswickian.
Oh, so this is Canada. Are these like?
Yeah, we found the correct amount of France.
This is Canada.
Oui.
Of course. So
our neighbors to the norte.
The Great White North. Just a stone's throw away. If that's how I'd see it. But I think they're curling maneuvers.
Oh, that is a solid choice. That's the sort of main topic we would have on this podcast, but that is not actually true.
How is it not? Like, you got the Manitoban tuck almost like right in there.
You got the Manitoban and the Brunswickian. That's true. That's true. But what about the Journal?
Man, you are blowing my mind right now.
Yeah, I got a bunch of sneaky ones, and now I'm coming clean.
Are they like types of toilet paper? You said you're coming clean. I don't know.
Not that kind of clean. The McGill Daily. I don't think they take very.
Oh, they're newspapers.
They're student newspapers. Our topic this week is Canadian student newspapers. I knew it would take you a little while to get there.
I
mean, look at these names. They're fantastic.
Like the Bandersnatch?
Yeah, the Bandersnatch.
That's great. I love it.
It's the paper of John Abbott College. I saw some of these names. I thought it was hilarious.
Oh, okay.
I found the list of student newspapers in Canada, and I was like, this is fantastic. Yeah, so I was looking through. There's some great names in here. There's the Nugget, the Intercamp, the Reflector. I mean, they just have a fantastic list of names.
I can get behind the Nugget. That's one of those things that
really you know where the Nugget comes from?
It's gold. I'm saying...
Yeah. Don't go too far west, but go pretty far west.
I was thinking Calgary somewhere.
It's Alberta.
Alberta, almost British Columbia.
Calgary's British Columbia?
Calgary is in.
You have to come a little bit
Alberta.
east.
Yeah.
It's in Alberta, so you were close. I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, I was sure you were close.
I feel like that's some sort of team or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a whole list of them. There's like a couple hundred of them because Canada's kind of small, and maybe there's like 400 of them or something. I don't remember. A bunch of them. We can go. I found the breakdown by province, which I think is pretty cool. One more thing about Canadian student newspapers that I bet you, Eric, will find absolutely fascinating. They are the only thing that I know of that separates the provinces from the territories. If you're a territory, any territories listening,
oh really?
Get yourself there. Yeah, there are no student publications, no student newspapers in the territories. They have universities, they have colleges. Maybe not universities. They have colleges, but they don't have any student newspapers. So if you're in Nunavut Technical College, start a paper.
I think those territories need to start a paper and really express their speech. I don't know how free it is in Canada. I wish I did know, but...
Do you know which province has the most newspapers?
Well, my guess is it's the one with the most colleges. So I'm saying
with the most.
I'm saying Quebec.
Quebec doesn't have the most colleges, right?
Is it Ontario?
It's Ontario.
And it's always Ontario.
Yeah, Ontario has 30 newspapers, college newspapers specifically. Quebec has 15. Mm-hmm. British Columbia has 18. So
that's good on them.
Yeah, all those guys out there in Seattle, Vancouver, it must be a ton of liberal arts colleges with newspapers. So there's 8 in Alberta, 6 in Manitoba, 5 student newspapers in New Brunswick, 1 in Newfoundland and Labrador.
That's quite a bit.
2 in Prince Edward Island.
You go, PEI.
And 2 in Saskatchewan. And then, as previously mentioned, 15 in Quebec, 18 in British Columbia, and a whopping 30 in Ontario.
Good to them.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're absolutely cool.
All right, what do we want to talk about?
What sort of questions would you have for people writing student newspapers? Oh, do you want to know which school has the most student newspapers?
I can't imagine you need more than one at a school, so yeah, hit me with it.
Well, I think it's the University of Toronto with like 6 or 7. They have the Strand, the Varsity, the Newspaper.
That's an original one.
The Medium, the underground, the Saltaire, the gargoyle.
Oh, the gargoyle. I'm liking that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so one more thing about these list of student newspapers. I believe... And
that's where that I think you are crazy, so let's hit me with it.
I believe they all have to register with some sort of naming convention because there are no duplicates that I can find in the list.
That's funny because in the U.S. there's plenty of probable like duplicates.
I think every technical college has an integrator.
Oh,
Clarkson has an integrator.
No doubt.
Probably Cornell. Probably WPI.
They're all like, let's integrate.
Yeah. They're like, that's what a clever name. It's a math term.
Oh, so cool.
And a social term. That's going to be our newspaper. But in Canada, they're all different, except for one.
Oh, what is it?
Well, here's what happens.
Is it the newspaper?
No, it's the Sentinel, actually, I believe.
Okay, that's fair.
But here's the thing. There's 2 entries for the Sentinel, but one of them no longer exists.
So, obviously, the other Sentinel had a hostile takeover.
Well, they disbanded the Mount St. Vincent University in Nova Scotia. Disbanded the Sentinel, and someone else could then free up that name, because clearly the Canadians keep a list of possible student newspaper names, and you have to check with that if you want to start a new newspaper.
That's a good idea, because I know we did not start with anyone when we started this podcast about our name.
Well, I don't think there's any other Just Do It podcast, except maybe by Nike.
I think Nike definitely does this. It's all about the spelling.
It's all about avoiding copyright.
I don't want to get sued.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on every single college's newspaper being named after Renaissance Fair items, like the Brock Press, or
of course.
the Quest?
The Quest. See, that's a good one.
Spoke.
I think it all roots from this sort of desire to actually want to go back to the Renaissance ages. We're talking Canada here. They already eat their fries with cheese curd on them. I mean,
that is a delicacy of medieval times.
I am loving me some poutine.
Yeah.
It's delicious. I can't say no.
Poutine is delicious. That's
well,
true.
I mean, like, when you think about it,
is that
Canada,
why it need to be Le Griffonier?
I mean, talk to yourself. Why would you not want to be Le Griffonier? I mean,
you could be Le Polyscope, which...
that's so-so.
Is École Polytechnique de Montréal.
But I mean, just think. Back to Bandersnatch, baby.
Yeah, right. So that's what caught me off guard. I was like, we need to talk about this. There is a newspaper in Canada called Bandersnatch.
Like, of course. That's amazing.
Yeah, right? And Interrobang. I think Interrobang... Do you know what the Interrobang is, actually?
I've never heard of it.
The Interrobang, if I remember correctly, and I'm sure our listeners will post and tell us if we're wrong. I believe it's that weird question mark exclamation point thing that they wanted to use for sarcasm.
Oh, that's sort of that thing that I saw once and then never thought of ever again.
Correct.
Nice.
That thing that people bring up and they're like, the Interrobang.
I like to
hear it. I think you mean entire bang.
That's something.
It's the question mark with the exclamation mark. It's used in various different languages and intended to combine both of them. So I'm very excited and questioning it.
It's sort of like, what?
Oh, you've published a newspaper?
Wow!
Yeah, that's what it is.
Sort of like shock and amazement.
And awe.
Let's bring it back.
All right.
2020 is the year of the Interrobang.
So the Interrobang?
I'm liking it.
Can we sponsor it? Can we have the Interrobang sponsor us?
I did get a phone call the other day from the Interrobang, and he said, I want to sponsor you.
The Interrobang's a guy now?
No.
He's a good superhero.
Oh, that's good.
Loudly proclaims questions.
He shows up to the scene of the crime. It's just like, but why?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right. That's it.
Yeah,
a little open-ended, but
the Interrobang season, bang bang, interrogate, bang bang. Yeah.
Oh, jeez. And then, of course, he's always like, and how did this happen? Or, but where is he now? Bang bang bang.
Right. Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, the Interrobang is fantastic. I think we need to check.
So,
100%.
The Renaissance, though.
Yeah, the Renaissance. Why do college newspapers?
I mean, the Renaissance is a time of flourishment. Like, that's when all these great, like,
college
artists...
newspaper starting.
Yeah, definitely. Over
Someone
in, like,
needed to
Italy.
report on the Renaissance fair.
We love Italy. They're probably all
talking... You're the one smoking six-pack today.
I do it for Italy. What can I say?
All right, Viva Italy.
Yeah, the Renaissance was all when this great like explosion of culture, science, and arts like happened. Why wouldn't that be a good idea with like the newspaper? You know,
You're not wrong.
I think
Yeah,
Canada's
newspaper-
forward thinking.
It could be true. And to be fair, I did leave out some of the more boring ones, like the Sheridan Sun from Sheridan College.
Well, that's a copy off of like some other Sun. Like, yeah, the Sun's there.
Yeah, true.
Whatever.
Right. Well, it comes up every day, just like the newspaper. That's the pun.
I don't think that's a pun, because a pun is like, oh, is that a pun?
Well,
I
it's
know
like the
pun's
play
a play on words.
Well, there's always Concordia, La Organ. No,
Mhm.
it's Organ, which I thought, I mean, it looked like the Little Orange, but it's actually French for the organ.
Oh, very cool.
So it must be like their musical paper. I was hoping that it was some sort of Dutch loyalist newspaper. La Orange. But I don't know what orange is in French. It'd be like La Naranja.
That's very Spanish.
Well, yeah, it'd be like the Dutch. It's like
The
when they
Dutch.
speak Spanish. It'd be like
The sun never sets on the Dutch Empire.
it'd be like going to like the University of Florida and reading a newspaper called La Naranja, but it's really about Dutch loyalism instead of the oranges they grow in their state.
I think I would prefer the Dutch loyalism than,
Oh, absolutely.
an
I mean,
orange
that's the
paper.
sort of newspaper I would read, right? Like we need to know what's going on in the Dutch monarchy,
That's just
how
it
they're doing.
works.
It's no one asks anymore,
How are the Dutch?
especially their monarch.
I think
Is enough of the Netherlands orange that they're satisfied?
their spray tans are out of this world.
Yeah. What came first, the fruit or the color? We know it was the fruit, but what came before that? The dude's name? William?
The Duke
Vil-
of Orange or something?
Yeah, wasn't it William of Orange? What came first, the guy or the plant?
Well, we're talking. Oh. Well, I don't think they have. Do they have oranges in Europe? Are
No,
they
they
native?
imported them.
Yeah, I was gonna
and that's where
say.
the color orange and the name orange comes from. It comes from oranges they imported. But did the
Yeah.
guy predate the?
He must have. Or
maybe.
history. I think history books could have been lying to us this whole time.
And he wasn't William of Orange.
He was
like,
just William von Heim.
Oh, I think they really like the color orange. So maybe he was like William the Yellow Red.
Or, well, I want to say they definitely had a name for like that color. It was orange, and they brought over these
I just call it
fruits,
yellow red.
and they're like, "Look at this beautiful."
Just like how we don't have
Color
a color,
orange.
we don't have a real word for that yellow green color that other people say chartreuse.
It's chartreuse.
It's not.
It's chartreuse.
Sure. Anyway, we don't have a name for that color.
It's chartreuse. Fine. You're just digging yourself
So
into
other
a
people
hole.
call it chartreuse.
I don't know about you, but I don't go a day in my life without referring to something as chartreuse.
I mean,
I'm walking down the street and I'm like,
you have
wow,
chartreuse color?
that would be a fashion nightmare, and I would never put myself through that.
Exactly.
Actually,
I think that's
I don't
why it
know.
takes so long. You
I
have
don't
these
know
colors
fashion.
you have these colors no one wants to wear, and then just no one names them until way later, or they go dig up some name like chartreuse or burgundy or something, and then name it after a
Burgundy's
house.
pretty cool.
Maybe so.
Like Ron.
Yeah, like Ron Burgundy or the House of Burgundy. Maybe
Oh,
so. I know
that's
what
right.
happened during the Renaissance.
Oh, wait.
All
what
of
if his
these
name-
houses-
What if his name was just Orange?
Yeah. So what if?
And then they're like, you know what? He wants a color. Let's make this color his orange.
I think their color they painted on their seal. They took whatever paints they had lying around,
hmm
and they were like, "I'm going to be House Chartreuse."
All right, Alex. We're gonna mix together a beautiful color. It's probably not gonna be beautiful. It might be a brownish hint of something because that's what happens when you mix all these colors
Mhm.
together. And we'll
Yeah,
call
just
it
take all the
DeWitt.
paint down- the DeWitt House DeWitt color.
DeWitt color.
DeWitt color.
I think that would work.
Well, the problem is it'd be an etymological nightmare.
Oh.
So you have to break down the color. You have to break down the color DeWitt. Okay, it comes from Old English the white, which is why it's a turd-colored brown. No one has yet named.
It's the only possible explanation.
Exactly.
All
I
right.
think we can name a color. All right.
That's good to hear.
Let's move on from newspapers. If our listeners have anything to say about them, they can
Leave
throw
a
down in the
comment.
comments.
Yep.
And we will get back to them. We'll dig deeper. But I think it's fantastic, the crazy names that they have.
Yeah, I think that's the only way to do it.
Okay, let's move on to questions from the internet. I got some questions from Twitter. I think you have some questions from Reddit. And people just shouted them into the void, and our unsolicited advice is miles ahead of anybody else's unsolicited advice.
It's the only way to do it.
It's the best advice, probably in the entire world. Let's start here with this one. Caleb Fultz, at CFultz on Twitter.
That's my boy, C.
At
Fultzy.
CFultzy, he asks, are Eagle Scouts required to tell people that they're Eagle Scouts, much like vegans, CrossFitters, and those who run Arch Linux. Well, yeah, absolutely, 100%. It's right there in the Boy Scout code.
What? No, I definitely do not do that.
You don't go around just telling everyone?
I don't tell them, but if someone asks, like a cop, I'm legally obligated to.
Oh, maybe that's it. So, Caleb Fultz, here's what I suggest. I think you need to stop asking people if they're Eagle Scouts, and then ask them instead what Linux flavor they're running.
I like the vanilla flavor.
Of Linux?
No, I'm just in general. I like vanilla.
I mean, mint is a solid Linux choice.
Mint?
Yeah.
Mint's a little too spicy, you know?
Why? Mint Linux is too spicy for you?
No, I'm just talking about a mint leaf.
Mint in general, they're not
so
real flavors
spicy.
of Linux. That's not going to help Caleb.
Well, that's okay. Caleb, if you're out there, I know you aren't.
Oh, there's no way Caleb is listening to this, but
I love you, Caleb.
There's just a lot of Eagle Scouts, Caleb.
Yeah, I've definitely been in like interviews, and the guy looks at my resume, and he's like, "Oh, you're an Eagle Scout too," and I'm like, of course."
Wait, you're an Eagle Scout? And
Holy
then
crap.
they have to talk about it for probably 15 to 20 minutes.
And then the entire interview's over, and you get the job.
Yeah, it's really to ask what sort of light hazing went on in your Boy Scout troop before all that fun stuff got outlawed.
Yeah, we sure did a lot of light hazing. Nothing hard.
Yeah, nothing real hard, because that was cool. That wasn't cool.
See,
But, definitely some light bullying.
when I was a scout, you would give someone a really bad magic deck, and then play them with your far superior magic deck and make them cry.
So what you're telling me is you were a nerd scout.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's what my troop became.
That's what happened after I left?
Yeah.
Tragedy, Eric.
Let's be real. You probably would have liked it more than I did.
Yeah, I learned how to play Magic in Boy Scouts, actually.
Everyone did.
From the cool kids.
The cool kids knew what was up.
And that is when I discovered my favorite color.
Chartreuse, of course.
Well, there are no Chartreuse Magic cards, unfortunately, but there are black Magic cards. And black Magic cards are the best Magic cards. Don't let anyone else tell you
This is
different.
wild, because I'm a big white Magic kind of guy.
Yeah, I think that's why we hate each other.
At the end of the day, we are forced to fight.
Well, here's the thing about black and white Magic decks. They actually work surprisingly well together.
They do.
Because all of black's self-hate and card draw and discard mechanics turn out to work really well if
They
you can pump them back up with white's life gain.
Yeah, it's just insane. It's beautiful.
So, Caleb, here's the answer to your question. The answer is no. However, once they start talking about, don't ask them. Just stop asking, because once that cat's out of the bag,
I'm pretty sure Boy Scouts of America is like toast or something. They're like bankrupt. Like they aren't doing too hot right now. Anyways.
Yeah, well, so in the future, no, because there won't be any. But for right now, you just have to stop asking, man. All right, well, I got another question for you. Let's unpack another one for him. The Sledges at NYA Fairy Tale asks, what do you do if God tells you the person you are destined to be with is your boyfriend/girlfriend's friend?
I think you gotta cut all ties. God told you, why not?
Mr. Sledges, you think Mr. and Mrs. Sledges just goes for it?
No, I think that's also a terrible idea. I'm pretty sure that however God came to you is something's up, because that's a tough go.
So anyway, the Sledges, if God tells you that the person you're in love with, you're destined to be with, is your boyfriend/girlfriend's friend. I mean, I guess that's rough.
That is a tough go, because you're definitely.
I mean, if you have to do what God says, then I mean you're screwed. You just gotta break it off.
Except the problem is here, like, if that person that you are into, like, so if your boyfriend/girlfriend's friend is the one that you're, I guess, told to get with, if they're a good friend, they're gonna be like, no, you just broke up with like my best friend. Why would I want to date you now?
That is tricky.
So it's not going to work out well.
To make sure that this friend, also feels the same way about you before you date a friend of your boyfriend/girlfriend and break it off with them. That's probably the safe play.
Oh, no. The safe play is to move to Antarctica and never to speak with anyone ever again.
Well, you have to abduct that person you're supposed to be with.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. I think Russia's fine with abductions. Just move there.
All right, that's it. Yeah, abduct them, move to someplace far away,
because that is
cold.
Oh, it has to be cold or very hot. None of this mild, because everyone knows that either end
That
of the
makes
spectrum.
the escapes get easier.
No, it makes them easier, but they think weirder. Everyone knows in a hot climate, everyone's a little more hot-headed.
Yeah.
So, and then in a cold climate, you got nothing, so might as well stick it out.
Might as well stick it out. So, yeah, I mean, that's something you're going to have to dig deep. And I'm going to say, for sure, at least know the person you're trying to run away with, because it's going to sting for everyone, is also wants that to be the case. Because if not, you're in a load of trouble. And Eric over here...
Especially if it's not like... Let's broaden the reaches of this question. Say if it's like not your girlfriend, boyfriend, if it's your husband, wife, then you gotta be real sure about that one.
Love knows what love knows. And so that's why you need to go to Russia or Antarctica. Only those two places.
I think down in Bama, Alabama, they're probably fine with it too.
Well, I mean, they're not related. Didn't say.
Oh, I was thinking brother sister also on top of that. Don't worry about that one.
Just a friend. Yeah, that's an entirely different question. So I got one more. Do you have any questions, Eric?
I found a pretty interesting question, which was about now that everyone's quarantined, what sort of crimes are going to be the easiest to commit?
Ooh, that's a tricky question. What sort of crimes are going to be the easiest to commit now that everyone's stuck inside?
Yeah, basically.
Well, high-speed car chase, probably.
It has to be.
There's going to be less traffic.
Yeah.
You can just blow right through those streets.
Work on your handbrake turns, looking sexy like you do.
And maybe the cops don't even notice.
That's valid.
Right. Without the other cars there, you can just claim you were going with the flow of traffic.
Yeah.
Your flow of traffic.
Now,
I know our legal editors might not, don't use this as a real defense.
That won't play out for
Just Do It is not legally binding or provides any sort of legal advice at all, much like the subreddit r/legal advice.
Really, any of the public offenses would be good. You can probably get away. It's easier to run away. There's not crowds. You can probably do a lot of random stuff.
So, public murder? Or...
I'm thinking... I mean, if you want to do public murder, yeah, you could probably get away with it. But even public urination.
But what if there's more? So
people forget that's a crime.
So you're thinking some sort of outward-facing crime.
Yeah, as long as you're outside, right?
Where no one's going to see it. But I have another problem with that. If you want to shoplift, well, yeah, it's definitely still a crime.
Okay.
But will there be more cops out? Less cops per person, easier to spot you doing it?
Well, I
think maybe you want to do tax fraud. Well, everyone's not sure if they have to pay their taxes.
Well, I'd say there's no way you could get away with tax fraud because, I mean...
They're going to scrutinize them?
Yeah, I think they're going to scrutinize them, considering the IRS already did give you 90 days extra.
Well, in that case, since the IRS gave you some more money, start embezzling.
Oh, the stock market is all sorts of whack, and I don't know how you're making all this money.
It's going to be a lot easier to do more embezzling. You're siphoning it away. Charities, GoFundMes for nothing. I mean, however you want to get money, that's definitely got to be easier now that the resources are strapped. I think that's our answer. That's my answer. Eric, what's your answer?
I'm going to say this with pure satire in my voice, and I think embezzling is a great idea. I think that's the only way to do it. I'm down. I'm down for a little bit of embezzlement.
A little bit of light embezzlement? This is
not legally binding. I do not want to embezzle money.
Wait, Mom, we can write this podcast off, right? Okay, cool.
Of course, that's the one.
I was just checking. So, I got one more question, and then we will wrap it up with our news from fake sports and real sports. Hannah, at Hannah Markowitz, asks, what do I do if my job closes and I'm out of work for weeks without bars to go to? I need a hobby. I think she answered her own question, but again, another one of these coronavirus.
Casual drinking?
Well, she can't. You got to social distance.
Exactly. And in her house, she can just, casually drink.
Day drink.
Why not?
I mean, you're working from home.
You could work on your bartending at home, so you can learn how to make all those good drinks for cheaper.
I think that's a beautiful idea. Hannah, here's what you're gonna have to do: get one of those bar kits from Amazon, or steal one from your local bar if you don't need it.
I mean, obviously not.
It's gonna be a lot easier.
It's gonna be easier. No one's gonna be there.
So you should go down to your local bar, borrow, but with big quotes, a bartender's getup, and practice your drinks at home. I think that'll help, because that is definitely a hobby. And should she drink them all? Alcohol will kill the virus, and you don't want to invite other people over. So you're going to have to spreading. Your liver's going to have to take one for the cause, Hannah. But when we get out of this, in however many months or whatever, when we come back out of social distancing, you can be the best barkeep around, and you don't even need those bars. You can just do it yourself. All your friends will be like, wow, I want one of Hannah's drinks. Let's see it, Hannah.
You'll go big.
So, Eric.
Yes.
I got some news from fake sports. Do you have news from any real sports this week?
Well, this week has been a low sports week on the basis of no one's doing stuff. No,
that is correct.
Stuff is not happening.
Stuff is not happening. That is true. So how are they dealing with that? Do you know what's like being broadcast on the networks? I don't watch the real sports.
On the networks, there's a lot of highlights from the good old days when we weren't quarantined. So
at least 2 weeks ago.
Basically just like championship, sports talk sort of stuff. Like, hey, where's Brady going? It's the Bucks. He's going to Tampa Bay.
Going to Tampa Bay?
Everyone in New England's very upset.
Oh my God, Tampa Bay.
I think
Brady to Tampa Bay.
I want to say it's a $60 million 2-year deal.
The only way I would do that if I was Brady is for the money.
Yeah.
But does Brady need $60 million? Maybe.
No, I think he's just doing it to be old.
I mean, Favre did it.
No, I think he just wants to be the oldest dude in the NFL.
He wants to stick around and be Grandpa Brady.
Why not? Sounds like a good gig.
Go for the record. I don't know what the record is for the oldest guy in the NFL.
NFL, not NHL.
Yeah, they're closed along with basketball. I really feel bad for all the high school athletes in
particular my gosh.
And college athletes. The seasons just got ended.
Yeah, like imagine being a college senior right now and having your season taken away from you, like right as you were about to play a championship
Especially
game.
If your team was doing really, really well.
Yeah, like that would be terrible.
That would be really awful. I mean, if you were Alabama or whatever, then fine, and you're playing football or something. But these are like college. There's a couple of good colleges in March Madness that have potentials to make deep runs. These are like tiny schools.
Still, like also on the high school level, like you've been playing a sport like probably a long time in your life, and then you were just waiting for your big game in like high school.
Year and get stripped away.
And yeah, especially if you weren't planning on playing sports in college, like that really sucks.
Okay, I found it. I looked it up for you, Eric.
What are we looking at?
In real sports news, George Blanda was the oldest player in the history of the NFL.
How old are we talking?
He retired at the age of 48.
Oh my!
So how many more years?
He had to have been a kicker.
Does Brady have?
Placeholder, like a kick holder?
I don't know.
Holy cow, that's insane.
48. So Brady's what, 42?
I really don't know. He's definitely up there.
I think he's 42.
I don't know if he has 6 more years.
I think so. Do you have 6? I think someone's going to put down another $60 million for him. So in fake news sports, the League of Legends (LCS), as all of the leagues were shut down essentially last week, the Canadian league, the Chinese league, never started. So the LPL, which is the League of Legends players in China since the quarantine in Wuhan, and they've been locked down the entire year, and we weren't sure it was going to get out. So everyone else played their games. Korea is now suspended. Everyone's suspended. But what they've been working on, since the Chinese players have been working on this, is in-house scrims. Esports, the Esportes, as they will, are being moved online. This weekend, there actually will be NALCS, and we get to see what the players' bedrooms look like.
Well, now that's exciting.
Yeah, we'll see who in the league has the dirtiest bedroom. Is it Double Lift? Is it Pobelter? Who knows?
Personally, I just want to see like how they live. Do they live in like a tiny room, or do they share beds? Do they have bunk beds?
Are they social distancing still, right? Are they in all different houses in the different rooms in the game house? Which teams have enough money to afford a studio is what we will find out next week. I think they should put cardboard cutouts in their place in the official League of Legends studio.
I could get behind that. That would be pretty exciting.
Cutouts.
Someone steals the cardboard cutouts, because let's be honest, it'd be pretty easy to do.
That is true. Obviously, all crimes, I think what we've discovered is all crimes are easier in a stressed situation. Doesn't mean do them.
Again, we can't tell you what to do, so this is all in your judgment.
Upsell toilet paper, get caught, you do you.
Sounds good.
That is a crime.
Another fake news sport is actually a rising news sport, which is marble racing.
Oh, that's right. I watched the Marble Grand Prix.
Yeah, of course.
Basically every weekend. It just started up a couple weeks ago. My favorite raceway so far has been the Mo Motorway.
Oh,
and they were just at the Greens, I believe.
The Greens?
So it's the home course of the Green Ducks on Jelly's Marble for the Marble GP.
I like to hear that.
Unfortunately for me, I pull for the Raspberry Racers and the Snowballers, and both of them have had some pretty dismal performances. I think it was the Raceway maybe. Snowballers
Raceway.
Yeah, they were like second place. So if you're watching marble racing, Marble
Remember,
Grand Prix.
this is a sort of sport that's really come up in internet popularity in the past few days. So there's going to be a lot of rookies out there.
Yeah, you got to.
Alex here, he knows, he's been watching the sport,
I've
following
been
the
watching
sport
since
for
the
a
Marble
while.
Olympics in 2018.
So-
and I watched the Snowballers host the 2019 Winter Olympics, and I was like, they're my team. They finished 18th, I think, out of 20th. Don't quote me, but they were my team. I was pulling for them. Still pulling for them. The Snowballers are, they're my favorite, but they're not doing so well. The O-Rangers are doing fantastically well, and you can always tell if you're watching the Marble, any of the Jelly Marble runs, and the O-Rangers are doing well because you can hear their distinctive chant. It goes like this. Oh! So if you hear the O's going, you know the O-Rangers are charging out to a hard lead.
Oh, I think I'm an O-Ranger fan right now.
Oh, man,
that
that's
really
pretty
got
cool.
me going.
Yeah, so check out your marble runs. They're definitely an interesting, not real sport, for sure.
Is that all you have?
I think that's all I have. It's time to wrap up and thank our sponsors.
What are our sponsors today?
We're sponsored by Mom's Office, the quietest place in your house, the Interrobang, DeWitt, the color you get when you mix all the paints together, the place is cold enough for third-degree cabin fever, a legal system in crisis, and lastly, Edgemore Edgers, the sharpest baselines in Little League. I'm Alex.
And I'm Eric.
So keep those Little League fields snazzy, snow on the slopes, and for the love of God,
Just send it. Odds are attracted to life.
well, yeah, it's really unfortunate for that guy.
Edge, baby, edge. Edge, baby, edge.
That's right.
Edge, baby,
All
edge,
right.
edge, edge,
This has
edge,
been
edge.